What's up, everybody? It's Tyler Rogan with Power Wash Academy. Today's episode, we're going to be washing a driveway for you guys. I just wanted to kind of go through and give you some pointers, kind of show you how we do it, maybe save you a little bit of time and a little bit of hassle. So we're going to be cleaning the customer's front little porch area. We've got a small sidewalk section and a driveway. It's not a real big job, but there is a little bit to be learned. We do have a lot of gray algae buildup on the surface. This driveway does have a little bit of paint that has gotten on the surface that we're going to try to remove as well. I typically don't like to use a lot of pressure on concrete surfaces. This is an older surface. There's no cream layer on the top. That soft layer has already been worn down over all the years. I can see a lot of exposed aggregate under there, so I feel pretty comfortable about using pressure to take this paint off if at all possible. If it's not going to come up easily, I'll go ahead and put a graffiti remover that I got from Powerwash.com. Put that on there, and that should loosen it up and get it all the way off. Small 2-car driveway here. We've got a couple sections on either side of it that we're going to be power washing for them as well. They have had a couple repairs made on the sidewalk, and so we're going to try to make these blend in as much as possible. So we've got this new section here and a couple new sections beyond their property line. So we're going to do our best to blend these in as much as possible and get it looking a little more uniform. Down towards the bottom of the drive, we've got this thicker buildup. And so I'm going to go ahead and run the heat today to try and cut all the way through that. If I notice that we've got some buildup still on the surface after we run the surface cleaner, I'm going to come through with some sodium hypochlorite, give it a quick soaking, and that should resolve the issue. Once I get to the bottom of the driveway, I'm going to come through with my wand and blow out these dirt and rocks that are building up at the bottom. I don't want to have any rocks or sticks, anything like that, kicking around inside of the surface cleaner, taking a chance of damaging my spray bar. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and start off by using my wand to rinse this bit of dirt out of this cracked area at the bottom. That way when we run our surface cleaner over there, there won't be any unexpected banging and clanging inside of my surface cleaner. It's a fairly expensive piece of equipment, and I got to do my best to take good care of it. So I'm going to start up the machine, rinse all this dirt out of here, and then I'll get started on the front porch, work our way down the driveway. I'll show you what kind of machine we're running today to get this job done, in case you're wondering. We've got 2 units on site. The guys are running one of them to wash the house in the background, and both of the units are identical as far as the specs go. We're running 8 gallons a minute at 3,500 PSI, and I'm going to be using a 24-inch surface cleaner and run the temperature at about 160. And so I think we've done enough prep work, got everything out of the way. Just going to move these hoses off of the driveway, get the machine fired up, and clean this thing up. Check it out. Okay, so I've got that rinsed out. There's probably still going to be a little bit of mud and water running back down into that edge where it's chipped away, but the rocks are out of there. That's my main concern. A little bit of dirt and mud under the surface cleaner is no big deal, but no rocks. That's my goal. Okay, so this first run that I made with the surface cleaner took me about 2 to 3 passes to get it as clean as it is right here. It was taking a moment for the hot water to cycle all the way through the line, and I can feel now it's pretty close to being up to temp. So that's going to help us in freeing up that buildup on the surface. So I'll make another pass now that we've got heat and see how much better that may or may not work. And one pass over those pavers is all that we're going to do. Get it as clean as we can with one run, and then that's about it. If you excessively run the surface cleaner over that, it's going to kick out all the sand in between those pavers, cause them to become loose and uneven. So I ran it over, it got it pretty clean. We'll see once I rinse it if we need to add any chemical to it or not. And I'm trying to always keep my hose behind me when I'm running the surface cleaner. So I'm going to start making my passes up and down this driveway and keeping the hose behind me so I don't have to step over it. And as I'm coming back and forth up and down the driveway, I'm trying not to overlap the area that I've already cleaned. So the spray bar inside of here comes out to about right here. See, we can look under there and see the difference between the edge. It's pretty close to the edge. So from there to here, we got about that much distance. So I'm gonna take that off of the edge and pretty darn close. So I can see my clean line, and I'm gonna try to drive over that to where my clean line is passing right about there. And if you do it that way, your overlap areas, you're gonna take a lot less chance of making those brighter. And that's gonna allow you to have more consistency throughout and hopefully not have to clean it a second time to balance all of that out. This area here has the thickest buildup of the whole driveway, so I'm gonna go quite a bit slower making my passes over that area. So that sidewalk is a little bit more than twice as wide as my surface cleaner. So instead of overlapping and possibly creating a lighter spot where the two have overlapped, I opted to just leave a dirty spot in the center because I can easily touch that up with my wand, and it's gonna be a lot more predictable blending that in with my wand than it would be running the surface cleaner over there, since I can't really clean this big of a spot with a surface cleaner. So that'll be up to you after you've done this for a while as to what's gonna be most efficient for you, but that's what I do a lot of the time. I would rather come back and touch up one quick spot because I'm gonna be rinsing with the wand anyway than running the surface cleaner and doing an overlap, creating a bright spot. So that's what I've chosen to do on this particular instance. I'm done running the surface cleaner. I am going to grab my wand, and the rest of this is gonna be touching up corners and any spots that may still be stuck in the surface that didn't come up completely. I can address those and adjust my pressure accordingly to get that as clean as I'd like for it to be. Okay, so sometimes when you're rinsing off a driveway or a sidewalk, you're gonna have a low-lying area and it's gonna collect a pool of water. So instead of trying to push this wall of water all the way up a sidewalk or wherever down the curb, a good way to do it, which I've seen a lot of people ask, so I figured I'd show you real quick. This isn't quite as big, but it'll give you an idea of what to try. If you've got grass on either side, this is what I like to do with it. I'll come through with high pressure, hit right in the middle of that puddle and splash it all off into the grass. And although you won't get it all off of there, at least you'll get a lot of that mud out of there and have less to deal with. Okay, we got the dirt rinsed off. So that's gonna leave a mud trail underneath the truck here. So before we're done, we'll back the trailer up and address that bit of dirt and rocks that I blew underneath the truck. But at least I got it off of our surface so I can kind of see what we're working with and find out what else we need to do to address any other spots that we may have missed, and to come back and take care of those paint spots real quick. Okay, so most of the algae growth came off of the surface. Most of the paint came off as well, just with pressure and heat. There still is a little bit of remaining paint, so I'm gonna use Tag Off, and it's a graffiti remover. I'm gonna put a little bit of that on the driveway where the paint spots are and see if it'll loosen it up. That product works on most paints. We're gonna try it. I'm hoping that it'll work on these. I'm pretty confident that it will. There are a couple other types of paint, maybe acrylic type paints that aren't gonna come off quite as well using the Tag Off, but I'm not certain what these are. Let's find out if it's gonna help. I typically use this in a pump up sprayer, but I don't have one with me and I'm only gonna use a tiny bit. So I really don't want to break out a pump up sprayer and mix up the tiniest little baby batch of this stuff. So maybe a little excessive on the spots, but I'll probably just move that around with my boot a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. I've got a brush that I'm gonna scrub it in with. Okay, I think that'll do it. I think probably 3 or 4 minutes of dwell time should be all it takes to break that stuff loose. And I'm really not trying to break the paint loose with the brush. I'm just trying to even it out a little bit so that we've got a good consistent coverage. If you come over here and kind of check this out, you'll notice most of the thick buildup was taken off with the heat, but we've still got a couple little green patches here and there that didn't totally come off. So I'm gonna treat those with a house wash mix. And they should disappear. We'll come back through with the pressure washer one more time to give it a final rinse, but I'm pretty sure that a little bit of sodium hypochlorite will clear that right up. Okay, everybody, we got the driveway clean and I'm pretty happy with the results. The algae buildup came off well. We did have a couple paint spots on the cement as well, and it came up good, so that makes for a happy customer. I'm gonna walk through and check out our work. I'm gonna show you some before and after pictures. Thank you so much for watching our videos, guys. It helps us out so much if you could follow, like our videos, and subscribe to the channel. That's what's gonna keep us going on here. And until next time, keep washing.